The ancients taught that if you are angry, you lose. People who can't control their emotions. It also means you can't control your life. The famous military leader Napoleon once said, "Someone who can control their emotions more than a general. You can take down a city." If you want to achieve greatness, we should first learn to control my feelings. Sadly, it's not easy. Many people, even on the surface, but when you see something that makes them uncomfortable, they will also lose control of their emotions. From cursing, arguing with others until you touch your feet, banging bleeding head, it's very dangerous. When we are angry, there will always be a fire burning inside. When people start their anger, they have already lost. The kind of person who can't control emotions, they will never be able to control their lives. It leads to a loss of reason and the loss of consciousness. When you are angry, many problems arise. People with severe anger, they may have life problems. For example, Jong Fei in the Three Kingdoms. When I heard that my good brother was a cowboy, the hurt can't help but grieve and anger. So he borrowed the dysfunctional drunk, beat the soldiers. In the end, his subordinates were Fangwong and Jong. I can't hold it anymore. While Jong Fei was sleeping, they killed him in bed. Is a general. Jong Fei is very capable, but in the end, there's no ideal ending. Can see that people who can't control their temperament, no matter how talented you are, it's useless. In life, there are a lot of grumpy people like Jong Fei. They're always full of energy, negative in relationships and work, frequently thinking about things. God blames the earth and even speaks ill of others. The Godfather has a very famous line: "Never leave any AI outside your family. Know what you think." Who is easily swayed, easy to get emotional. To be too frank is to be unwise. Easily seen by others, it's easy to get into trouble in life. At the same time, frequently, a little of your negative emotions on others, it will make people avoid it and afraid to contact you. Over time, your relationships will also get worse. It's hard to have no one around. If you meet some people with the same temperament, there can even be conflict. Conflict, too much money for the lives of both. Out of anger. It's also very bad for your own health. It's also written in ancient medical books that all diseases are born of air. Anger doesn't just hurt the liver and lungs, it's also dangerous for heart and cerebrovascular health. So once people start getting angry, it's actually had a lot of bad effects to that person's life. It can be said that anger, it's the worst feeling in the world. Don't be angry. Everything in the world has a way. In a world full of change, every day that goes by can bring waves. Keep your heart calm. It's like a boat, not quietly floating in the middle of life. It's a noble art of living. Anger is like a fire that burns the soul, to blur reason and hurt humanity. When we are insulted for no reason, why can't you choke? But like a page, the ancient Chinese philosopher taught that not being angry is one of wisdom. The noblest of human beings, he's left us 4 human wisdoms about not being angry. 1 is not angry. To persevere in prayer without wavering in the face of bad words. There is a saying called buffalo is also called horse is finished. It means that others can humiliate. Praise is also determined not to compare. This idiom comes from a story that the page says, there's a self-professed academic named Tan Tan. He often sees people praising him. Lao Tzu has noble wisdom, supernatural, so I went all the way to see Lao Tzu. He saw Lao Tzu's house as a slum, angry to hear people say, "You are a wise saint. I've come hundreds of miles to see you. I can't believe you're like a mouse." When he heard it, He had no reaction. The doctor turned around and left. The next day I realized I was wrong. Come again. Sorry, Lao Tzu, the old man said calmly. What is holy with no human sense? I threw away this title like a shoe, torn a long time ago. If I had the essence of the Great Way, what does this have to do with you calling me a cowboy? Is it a horse or a mouse? I'm still me. People living in this world are hard to avoid. Sometimes I get annoyed by others. Criticism, blame, slander, even disparaging defamation. If you're upset about that, it's not worth it. A Buddhist scripture says that man must be motionless in the face of the attacks of others. The more intense the reaction, the more there is no end. Without moving anything, then nothing will shake. Not angry. Keep your mind like a boat. Don't consider yourself important. The page tells the story. Isn't it great about the boat? If you're sitting on a boat going, in front of you is a boat. The person on the boat did not control the boat properly, crashed into your boat. You will probably be angry at that time. But if there's no one on that boat, the boat didn't drift. Are you angry? The most common human disease is to attach to self, taking yourself too seriously. Just consider yourself important. Taking yourself too seriously. It is easy to get into disputes with people. If there is a boat mentality, to minimize the conflict, people are less angry. There are many in life. Many things are based on anger. Doesn't solve the problem. Lower your posture, lower your attitude. Don't consider yourself important. It will be easy to resolve the conflict. BA is not angry. There is always a way to everything. In the fables of the manner, there are some people shaped no ordinary people, including people with birth defects. There are people who are punished and their hands and feet are not enough. From the outside look, their physical condition is different from ordinary people, but some of them are ambitious. Someone has an ideal. Some people live happily. There are also very successful people. It is worthy of the name of the hero. There's a guy named Chi Lisa. His shoulders are higher than the top of his head, down to the navel of the bun. The back is up in the sky. 5 of his 6 organs were squeezed out of his back. He's a hunchback, 2 legs growing on both sides. According to this description of the site, Chili is not just ugly, but it's also kind of ferocious, looking like a monster. How does Chili live? He sewed. Washing clothes is enough for people to feed themselves. He still has the strength to go sifting rice for They earn enough money to feed 10 people. The page says that a disabled person born like this. Just do it yourself. If you eat, you can feed yourself. Enjoy the age of the sky. The page also tells the story of a man called A.I. He's also a bad man, but he has a magical appeal. The man was with him for a while, will be attached to his virtue, without wanting to leave. A woman, once she meets him, I will go home and tell my mother. Let him be a concubine. It is better than marrying someone else. The page says that there are people like this in this world. Very normal appearance, even ugly. But inside, there's a power of character, can be inanimate, inadvertently attract others to you. The true power of a person not manifest in any kind of Vietnamese track ho. It doesn't manifest in any kind of brilliant technique. It's in a kind of harmonious condensation. Website for people with birth defects and the post-mortem body is incomplete. There are usually 2 types of enlightenment in human life. Inadequate innate and unfavorable after birth. Not everyone grew up in the Golden Jade. Most of them come from ordinary families. There are even poor families. Parents can give very little. I can only rely on myself to wrestle with life. Every genius is different. It's different in general. In the journey of life, most people find it difficult to avoid unfavorable circumstances. That is why it is said that there are 8 unsatisfactory things in life. 9 parts. Anger and blame don't work. Master's degree in wisdom of Trang Trang, accumulation of virtuous knowledge to make my way. For not angry. The great passage, everyone has their own path. It is said that wild chickens in the mountains are not easy to find. It takes 10 steps to find a worm. Take 100 steps to find the water. But he still doesn't want to be locked in a cage. Because in the cage, I don't worry about eating or drinking. It's no fun to lose your freedom. A human life too. Free fun. Much more important than success. A Zen master came to the river and saw the fisherman dropping his net, a fish struggling out of the net. The master shouted with joy, or the fish out of the net. The master praised, is because people. I also jumped out of the net of love. The world is free. Jump out of the world's afflictions to be freed. The manna tells a story of a bird's nest. Outlying waterhole, there's a huge seabird flying in. National Army waterhole, very fun. Then the seabirds went into the temple. 9 burnt music very solemnly to give birds fun, and prepare good wine for the birds to drink. Slaughter goat cow feeding birds. They use these rituals every day. Seabird worship. What is this seabird? Limit Dim's eyes were cloudy. Not eating a piece of meat, not drinking a drop of wine. I was depressed for 3 days and died. The sea's heart fluttered in the blue sky. I would rather die than be bound in my heart. In fact, when your inner self is strong, then all the love turns small. We keep trying to change the mood, change the mind. Maybe we'll see the world change a lot. Angry as a coal, hot to throw at others, but you're the first to get burned. We can. It is easy to love someone who has treated you well, but it's hard to forgive people who are not good for us. And that's not something that AI can do. Life doesn't always go smoothly. It's not just love or unity. By making sour avoid a touch or friction, or maybe it's hatred. That's why the Buddha came from. He has given a precious gift to mankind. It is the treasure of every relationship, the most valuable property in the world. It's about forgiveness, or reclaiming tolerance. To take the retribution of the neighbor. To neighboring countries' salary and departments. Have an extremely good relationship. It's thanks to the generosity of the song. County officials command the borders of wage water. Military capital at the border of wage, and host countries. They all grow vegetables, but the way they grow them is different. Water soldiers need tubers. Regular care for melon field, so melons grow very well. Lazy country soldiers rarely take care of the melon field, so melons grow slowly. The police officer saw that, angrily scolded the soldiers for not knowing how to grow melons. Soldiers in jealousy. Because melons pay better, in the night secretly destroy the field of melons, cause the whole melon field to suffer. Salaries found out about this. Report to the district immediately. He also wants to destroy the land for revenge. He heard the report himself and said, "No sow can do that. It's a self-perpetuating disaster. People do bad things that they do too. Why is the heart so narrow? I have a solution like this. Every night the wrong person goes there, silently irrigate their melon fields without letting them know. So every night the salaries, all through irrigating melon fields for local water. The soldiers went to visit the melon field early in the morning, found that the melons had all been watered, growing up very well day by day. The soldiers found it strange and paid attention. It was discovered that soldiers were providing water. The police department is very happy to hear this. Report to the king of the land. The king was embarrassed and blushed. Then tell the managers, this is the groundwater reproaching us. Then King Cho brought the offering to apologize to Song. At the same time, please be associated with the king of wages. The relationship between the two countries has been good. When angry, nothing should be done. Once upon a time in a village, in the tax spring the king sent the Kwong to collect. When the officer, he went to a poor woodcutter's house to collect money. Then he wept and begged for mercy until the 6th century. The Kia official was very angry, brandished his sword to slash the woodcutter, to set an example for the people of the region, because he's been in debt to many times. Before death, the woodcutter's face from suffering, suddenly unusually calm. He said, "Let me say a few words before I die. Before, I'm also a happy man with my wife and 2 kids. But only because of momentary anger. I've been living alone for 35 years. I realize that when I'm angry, I shouldn't do anything. Death is seen as a punishment, finally, for my previous anger." Finished talking, the old man closed his eyes peacefully, waiting for death to come to him. But suddenly, Wake One, he pulled back his sword and let the old man go. After a hard day at work, when the officer came home, it was very dark. He gently went into the bedroom. The sight in front of him hurt. His wife is hugging a man in bed. As soon as you are away from home, 2 grips tightly. There was anger, the sword in his hand. You want to swing up and slash this couple of whores. But the old man's words came out. When I'm angry, I shouldn't do anything. Suppress the pain. The sword collector went back out and thought to himself, you used to love me that way. Maybe because of this we have to kill people. Whatever you want, it depends. His wife woke up when she heard the noise. Why are you so late? I haven't eaten anything tonight either. I forgot to sleep when you came back. I can't finish what the official said. Why did you do that to me? His wife was surprised. Who is it? Our son. You and I play fall. So she asked him to wear his clothes. Look at him. Approached the startled official. I saw my little boy sleeping in his clothes. Smiling, the official thought. Fortunately, a little more of my anger. I lost 2 of the people I loved most. To the next super tax period, the old man saw the official coming and ran out quickly. Thank you very much for forgiving me. This time I won big enough to pay everything. Previous debt to you. I can't finish what the happy officer said. I came here to thank you for your advice. All debts are deductions we don't take. If the water does not use kindness, silently irrigate melon field for water base. At that moment, he was angry for revenge. Can the 2 countries become good neighbors? Or the opposite is war? Conflict if the Kia official does not tolerate his wife. Maybe you killed 2 people you loved. Hate all my life. The Buddha taught, holding anger is like holding hot coals in your hand. Intend to throw it at someone else, but you're the first to get burned. So tolerance doesn't just bring peace. To touch the bad guys, it's also about keeping ourselves quiet. In the soul. In tolerance, there's also a very profound law of cause and effect. When you're tolerant of others, it's also a blessing to yourself. Later, who harbors hatred? Just take the pain for yourself. When someone hits you, even if you fight back, whether your wounds can heal or not. Let us be tolerant. Let go so that the mind is quiet and have a sustainable value of happiness. I can hold my anger for a while. Avoid worrying for 100 days. There is a saying in the literature. The most expensive, chi free of the sun chi priority. Hold your anger for a while. It will avoid 100 days of worrying. How big is the love today? Tomorrow will be the same thing. This year, no matter how bad, next year will be a thing of the past. When the emotions go away, the events seem great. It will also be a story. Someone who can control their emotions. It will be easy to solve the problem. No matter how hard the problem is, it's also going to be a simpler problem, easier to solve. Radical book written. The rudest apple of mind, the failure. Fire center pacemaker beatitude self-training. It means the quick-tempered. In a hurry, it will be difficult to achieve. And the mild-mannered. Steady attitude. All kinds of blessings will come naturally. Angry and stupid like a pair of identical cards. When the fire of anger rises, it's easy to do stupid things. People who live by emotions, you will be a slave to your emotions for the rest of your life. On the contrary, the peaceful can maintain a pure mind. Take control of your own emotions. You will avoid the traps or the calamities of emotions. Aesop, the famous Greek writer, once said that the anger, it often carries its punishment with it. When fire attacks a person's heart, that means disaster is coming to him too. Because anger will make them lose their minds. The decisions made at that time, it's all based on emotion. 8 or 9 are mistakes. Napoleon was a great general, but he is also famous not being able to control emotions and my own anger. So somebody joked that someone who can control their emotions well, more than a general, it could take down an entire city. Anger is what everyone has. Let it come out instinctively. And to be able to control it is the real strength. In any situation, when you are angry, everything will be damaged. In the company, a man who is angry with his boss can lose his job. If you are angry with your colleagues, you will be rejected by them. If you get angry with the customer, you can lose interest. If you are angry with your partner, you can make enemies. In the family, if a person is angry with a loved one, that would stifle the family atmosphere. So in any situation, everyone needs to learn how to calm down, to restrain oneself. Good temperament is a human talent. A person who can cultivate good temperament, then nature will be blessed. There's such an old Tibetan story. Once upon a time, there was a man named Ben. Whenever you're angry about a dispute with that AI, BA immediately went home, running around his house and ran 3 rounds. Others asked him why he did it, but he didn't answer. It's just that every time I run it, the 3rd generation is trying harder to work. That's why his land is getting bigger and bigger. Though, God has kept this habit until old age. Of course, more and more, the enemy BA is angry less and less. One day, Kier's hair turned grey. The lightning strike again. And so he's up against the stick. Go around your land 3 times. As soon as we left, the sun set. I'm tired of sitting on the ground panting. His nephew saw it and asked, because every time you get angry, you have to run around the country 3 times. God is now open to speaking. When he was young, every time you've had an angry argument with the AI, he ran around the field 3 times. I run and think of the house. My garden is so small. You don't have time to be angry at others. Just thinking that, the anger evaporated. So you spend all your time at work. The grandson of the enemy asked, when you are old, he became a rich man again. You still run around the field 3 times when you're angry. The land BA replied, now when you walk around the field 3 times, you just go thinking, my house is so big, so much land. I still have to measure, calculate what to do with others. So you're not angry. People live in the world, you can't do everything right. Just to the vast majority of us. There are 8 or 9 parts to life, but are unsatisfying. Between people and people, different things. It's about being able to control your own emotions, or not. Who can handle bad thoughts like hot and angry? If you are arrogant, you'll get the results you deserve. If you find this content helpful, take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel.